So I guess while I'm out here, what I'm doing is taking the pieces I've already cut. I'm going to set them back there, and I might cut a bunch more before I start doing anything. But I was thinking while I'm out here, I could take the end pieces, one of the end pieces, and just see how close it would come to fitting. Like if I go up in here on the back side of this and stick this down in there, there are little nail holes up in here where there are screw holes where I put this piece across and screw the tin down to it. A lot of times you can put this in here, bring it over to the edge, and kind of shove it right up into place, and it'll hit one of those screw things, and that'll hold it. But what I could do is I could take the cutoff pieces and put them down here, and then come up here and shove the other end up in the V, and then figure out where I need to cut this, and then I could push them into place. That way I wouldn't have that thing that happens like when I got two ends that come up together. Well, because they're cut at an angle, they kind of don't want to go up. It's hard to get them up in there, but it may be that if I had them in two pieces, I could shove one in the top, one in the bottom, and slide the two straight pieces kind of up, and that might actually work better than what I'm trying to do here. So we'll play with that. We'll play with that idea a little bit. This is Mom and Dad's stuff up here. This right here is an old Bell and Howell projector, and this is the old Bell and Howell movie camera that Mom and Dad had when I was a kid. I got stuff like this, pictures of Mom and Dad, some paperwork, different things. I think this is back in the day they had the big gigantic light that would hook to the top of the camera, and this had those great big spotlights in it. And of course, Christmas morning, you know, they'd stick the bulbs in this and plug it in and get the camera ready. I think it actually had a turn crank on it. You turn the crank to run the film, and then you had to put the film in it, and then you'd have to film it, and then you have to send it off and get it developed, and then hope that it all came out okay, which a lot of times it didn't, you know. And I suspect it's probably Mom and Dad's death certificate and stuff like that. Things you can't throw away, but you don't really know what to do with necessarily. You know how that goes. I suppose I could take, well, that starts to sound like work. But I suppose I could take the end pieces and stick them up in here. Instead of, I was thinking I'd stack them back there in that corner. I'll get on with it. It's getting to be that time of day where it's a good time to knock off anyway. So, yeah. That's a memory foam mattress that Trish wanted a new one, and she wanted me to get rid of the old one. I said, I'll get rid of it. I'll put it up and out there. So I put this tarp down here. This little piece of whiteboard was something I used to try to make a little shelf over where the cab of the RV is. That didn't really work out too well. And I think that's some bedclothes there. And I'm hoping the mice hadn't got into it and all. I think I left some, you know, peppermint oil and stuff out here to try and deter the mice, but I don't know if it will or not. You know how them little rascals are. They will get into anything that they can if they can. So that's just how they are. So these things were in that pile back there, and they're, I don't know, kind of wet, kind of sticky. Some of them are kind of moldy. Some of them's got bug and or animal stuff on them. So I just brought them, a bunch of them, up here to work with tomorrow. I'm gonna let them sit out all night long and let the water and the crumbs and the different things kind of drain out through them. There's a little wind blowing, so you can see my big stack's got a hole in the middle of it. I was able to pull them out of that stack without destroying it, and now that most of them are gone, I can go down in there tomorrow, move that stack, get it back in there out of sight where I've been cleaning out back in behind there. So a couple things on my list tomorrow would be one would be to cut these and get them up, and the other will be to clean out some more down there and move the stack. I don't know how much I'll get done. Sometimes in my mind I visualize me doing a lot more work in a day than I can actually get done, but we'll see. If the weather stays like this, it'll be great for it. It's a little cool, a little breezy, good working weather. The thermometer over there says it's almost 80, maybe 70 something, 72 I guess, so 75, 72, 73, somewhere along in there. That ain't too bad. I'll show you the banana tree. I cut all the limbs off the banana tree this morning except for that one that was growing out of the middle, and you might remember it was about the size of a 2-foot piece of rebar. Now it's just shot out today, literally, after I cut those old chewed up limbs off of it. That all the energy went to that one in the middle, and it just shot up there. So makes me happy. I love to see that thing grow. Somebody the other day said they didn't want one in their yard, but I'm just the opposite. I think it's almost the coolest thing ever. That's my 2 cents worth. Okay then. So we'll go see what Honey Babe thinks about things. Talk to y'all later. Hope you're having a good day. And if you ain't, get over it. Bye. I decided to do a little redesigning of my building. These cross braces that were up at the top were nailed through the sides into the sides of the rafters, which meant if I was going to put insulation between the rafters, I was going to have to cut out the 2x4 section up in there, and it made sense to me that instead of having them against the rafters, I could cut them with the angle of the rafters and shove them up right under the bottom of the rafters so that on either side they would be flush. And then I can basically put the insulation on either side without having to cut away any insulation. So that's what I'm going to do. I think there's, I can't even remember, 8, 10, 12 so rafters in there, so it's a lot easier to cut 8, 10, or 12 boards like this than it is to cut a bunch of this insulation and try to fit it in. So this will be my pattern here, and I'll go put this one up and grab another one. So here's what I'm talking about. This rafter brace attaches to the other side of the rafter, and this one will go up like this so that it'll be flush, and then I can put insulation board on either side without having to do any trimming. I like that a lot better. I think I'm going to get a level because I kind of like for these to all be level. Maybe that's Bill's influence on me. I don't know, but I'm going to see if I can find me a little small level. I guess I kind of forgot that I was making videos today. I started out insulating the ceiling in this room, and you know, that's a pretty involved process, cutting all those pieces, getting them all up in there, and it's pretty dirty. I mean, I say dirty, there's a lot of this this kind of foam insulation dust that winds up, you know, coming from that. So at some point when I get cleaned up, when I get finished, I'll blow this stuff out with an air compressor and vacuum it up and clean it all up. I've got from the far wall to about here, and I gotta do the rest of this. I don't have to do it tomorrow, but I'll probably work on it tomorrow. I also did a little bit out back. I may have said something about cleaning up stuff around back here, and I did a little bit of that, but not a whole lot. At the one point when it got really hot today, I went back there and straightened a few things out. I want to move both those piles of insulation that are down there in the edge of the woods and get them out of the way. And I kind of want to tuck my trailer back in there somewhere, kind of get it out of the way too. Maybe I'll get that done tomorrow. I moved it up here today, and it was wet enough so that my tires were spinning just trying to pull it up from the pretty level spots. So anyway, that's done, and we'll see what else we get done before we hit the road and head back to Maine. Yeah, so that's it for me for today. I'll get back with y'all later on when I got something to talk to you about. And other than that, I hope you have a good day. Love y'all. See you. Bye.